Today, we're diving into something pretty incredible, the secret of 5 a.m. We're going to explore how one single decision made at this very specific time of day can literally change, well, everything.
So, let me ask you something. What if you were just one habit away from a completely new life? I mean, think about it. A better job, more confidence, a totally different future? What if all of that was just waiting for you, locked behind one simple daily decision? That is the powerful idea we're digging into today, and we're going to do it through a pretty amazing story.
All right, so let's get into it. First, I want you to meet someone. His name is Thomas, and his story kicks off in a place that, well, a lot of us might recognize. It's that feeling of being completely and utterly stuck.
So here's the reality for Thomas. He's 32 years old, working the night shift as a security guard, 8 p.m. to 6 a.m. The pay? Barely enough to get by. And with just a high school diploma, it feels like every single door to something better is just slammed in his face. He's trapped, just completely hopeless and stuck in this cycle that's going absolutely nowhere.
And this really shows you what he was up against. Imagine this. While you're waking up, grabbing your coffee and starting your day, Thomas is just finishing his shift and heading home to sleep. The world is moving forward, but he's going in the opposite direction. It's no wonder he felt like he was living his life completely backwards.
And look, the thing you've got to understand is Thomas wasn't lazy. Not at all. He was working hard, grinding it out every single night. But all that effort, it just wasn't adding up to anything. It was like running on a treadmill. And that's such a soul-crushing feeling, right? Pouring your heart into something that's just going nowhere.
But you know how it is in every story of real change. There's always that one moment, that one turning point. And for Thomas, it came in the form of a phone call. A call that was about to shatter his world and force him to face reality, like it or not. So he's just getting off his shift one morning, and the phone rings. It's the news every child dreads. His mother had collapsed. The doctor's diagnosis was just brutal: exhaustion and stress. And part of that stress, he knew, was her worrying about him. It wasn't just bad news. It was like looking in a mirror and seeing his own powerlessness reflected right back at him. And as he's sitting there by her hospital bed, she says these words to him that they hit him like a ton of bricks. It wasn't just a mom being worried. This was a plea, a desperate request for him to stop drifting through life and finally take control. He had to promise her he would find a way, but honestly, he had no clue how he was going to do it.
So he steps outside the clinic, and it's quiet, that early morning, pre-dawn quiet. And he looks at his watch, it's 5 a.m. And as the sun just starts to hint at a new day, something inside him just snaps. But it wasn't sadness, it was anger. Pure anger at his situation. And right there, at 5 a.m., he made a decision that would change everything.
Okay, so making a decision is a great first step, right? But a decision without a plan is just, well, it's just a wish. Thomas had the fire, the will to change, but he didn't have a map. He didn't know what to do. And then the map appeared in the most random, unexpected place you could imagine.
He's on the 6 a.m. bus, heading back into the city, probably exhausted, and he sees this guy, Mr. Chun. Clearly a successful businessman, sharp suit, the whole deal. And Thomas is thinking, what is a guy like this doing on a public bus at 6 in the morning? So he just asks him, and Mr. Chun's answer was the first piece of the puzzle. He said he wakes up at 4:30 a.m. every day to read, to think, to plan, before the rest of the world even hits the snooze button. And then Mr. Chun let him in on this secret, something that had completely transformed his own life years ago. He called the time between 5 a.m. and 7 a.m. the magic hours. And this wasn't just about being an early bird. No. This was about being strategic. It was about using that golden, quiet time when no one else is awake to literally build the life you want, while everyone else is still dreaming.
Now, this is where it gets crazy. Mr. Chun actually did the math for him. 2 hours every single day. That doesn't sound like much, right? But it adds up to 730 extra hours in a year. Let that sink in. That's like getting 3 extra months of productivity. 3 months. For Thomas, a guy who felt like he had zero time, this was a mind-blowing revelation.
So Mr. Chun didn't just give him this cool idea and send him on his way. He gave him a system, a literal blueprint for change. So let's break down exactly what this 5 a.m. system involved.
The foundation of the whole thing was this 2-hour block. It was simple, but you couldn't mess with it. Hour number 1, from 5 to 6 a.m., was all about building skills, learning something concrete that could actually make you more money. Think online courses, a new software, whatever.
Then, hour number 2, from 6 to 7 a.m., was about building you. 30 minutes for your body, some exercise, and 30 minutes for your mind, reading, planning, you name it.
And to make this whole thing work, there were 3 rules, and they were absolutely non-negotiable. Rule 1, no excuses. 5 a.m. is 5 a.m., period. No hitting snooze. Rule 2, you have to protect your sleep. A 9 p.m. bedtime is mandatory, because you just can't win the morning if you lose the night. And rule 3, and this is a big one, you have to push through. The first week is gonna be brutal, but after 21 days, it starts to feel like a habit. And after 90 days, it just becomes who you are.
So Mr. Chun lays it all out. He gives Thomas a 90-day challenge. The deal was simple. Stick with the system for 90 days, and Mr. Chun would personally help him get a new job. But if he quit, he was on his own. So the clock starts ticking. What do you think happened? And this journey is just wow. It shows you the incredible power of just showing up every day. Day 1 was a struggle. His body was screaming. His mind was making every excuse in the book, but he did it. By day 21, something amazing happened. He started waking up before his alarm. The routine felt normal. By day 60, his confidence was soaring. He'd already knocked out 3 online courses in Excel and accounting. And then, day 87. He sees a way to use his new skills to fix a problem at work. Someone notices, and bam, he gets an offer for a day shift office job for double his salary. And it didn't just stop at a new job. A year later, that office job had become a career. He's now the lead accountant. He was able to move his mother into town with him, making sure she had the best medical care. Think about that. He didn't just change his job, he changed his entire life. And he built it all, brick by brick, in those quiet hours before anyone else was even awake.
So, look, Thomas's story is incredible, right? But the real point here isn't just to admire what he did. It's to understand what his story proves is possible for every single one of us. This is where it becomes about you. It's a challenge.
So here it is, the same 90-day challenge broken down for you. You can literally start tonight. Step 1, set your alarm for 5 a.m. And here's the trick, put your phone all the way across the room so you have to get up. Step 2, choose your skill. What's the one thing you're going to build in that first hour? And step 3, commit to your sleep. That 9 p.m. bedtime is your new best friend, because remember, wasted evenings are the enemy.
Now, I know what you might be thinking. Your brain is probably already cooking up excuses. I'm not a morning person. My job is too hard. Before you go down that road, just remember Thomas. He started with absolutely nothing. No degree, no connections, no money. The very fact that you're here, listening to this, probably means you're already starting with more than he had. So the real question isn't what you have, it's what you're going to do with it. You know, what's really cool is that even after he made it, his coworkers would ask him, "Thomas, why do you still get up at 5 a.m.?" And his answer gets to the heart of this whole thing. He said that success isn't a destination you arrive at. It's a daily practice. Waking up at 5 a.m. wasn't just a tool to escape his old life. It became the very system he used to build his new one, every single day.
So, we're going to end right back where we started, with a question for you. The person you want to become, the one you dream about being in a year, or even just 90 days from now, that person is waiting for you. They are literally on the other side of your alarm clock. So the only question is, are you going to show up at 5 a.m. to meet them?